Hi, 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 I'm Ethan Kwan, and today I'm going to be showing you, welcome to part 3 of how to make a scrolling platformer in Scratch. Last time we left off with jumping, and we made it so that you can jump off a platform right after you left it, and we added gravity. That was great. I'm actually probably going to increase the gravity strength. To do that, by the way, just go to change DY by -1 in tick. I'm just going to change that to -2 because yeah, that's much better. But I might have to increase the jump height to like 20. Okay. Anyway, welcome to part 3 of how to make a scrolling platformer in Scratch. Last time we left off with jumping, gravity. That was great. Yay. So today we're going to be covering a bit of head detection. As you can see, we don't want to be able to warp through a platform like that. And another problem is we don't want to be able to hit a wall and then just jump to the top of it. That's happening because our detection scripts are only checking for up down, but if we're touching a wall, we get sent to the top of it because our ground collision scripts think that, yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, slope detection works for now, so that's good. So let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and first let's address the problem of maybe head detection first. How about head detection first? Yes. So head detection is probably the easier of the two. Between wall detection and head detection. Head detection is probably easier, so you don't go, flying through a wall like this, flying through a ceiling like this. That's pretty annoying. So we're gonna fix that first. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go inside our change player Y by DY. Now the reason this is happening is inside a repeat until, we're repeating until not touching level, right? So if we're touching the level, say on the ground, we are repeating until not touching level, and we're just moving up to get out of it. Now, the problem with that is, so our player is jumping up like this. And, oh no, we're touching a platform. So we're going to change Y by 1, like this. And since this is happening instantaneously, and this is repeating until we're not touching level, this will hop us all the way up to the top of the platform. So that's not good. We want to detect if we're jumping up or if we're falling down. So the easiest way to do this is with an if condition. So we're going to grab an if-else. And, again, an easy way to do this is with a greater than operator. So if our dy is greater than 0, meaning we're jumping up, right? If we're jumping up, if dy is greater than 0, that would be jumping up, right? Because our y velocity would be greater than 0, right? So this is a good check because this will detect if we're jumping up. And if we're jumping up, let's move these out of the way. We're going to put this if inside here. Okay, so if we're jumping up, what do we want to do? Change y by 1? No, we want to change y by -1 to get out of this platform. So we're going to go ahead and change y by -1. But if we aren't, so in the else, we're going to change y by 1. Okay? So that's fine, and then we can just stick these scripts on here. Okay, so let's test this out, and yes, so now as you can see, we are detecting head collisions. That was very easy. Okay, one problem that I see. Let's say I hold up. Yeah, we can stick to the ceiling. Now, this might be an interesting game mechanic. You might want to have this, but I want to fix this because that's not very nice, is it? So how do we fix this? Well, we are always setting in air to 0, meaning we can jump again, right? So right here, we're setting floating to 0, meaning we can jump again even if we're touching the ceiling. So that's why this is happening. All we have to do is we're gonna move this. Whoa, that's laggy. Yes, stop. Okay, that don't do that. So set floating. We're gonna put these back here. We're gonna set floating to 0 only in the second, or only in the else. Okay, let's test that out. Yeah, okay, so now I'm holding up. I cannot jump. I cannot stick to the ceiling. Okay, that's good. That's very good. So, okay, so now let's fix left and right detection. So you might have noticed, and I've showed this before, you can hop to the top of the wall if you're next to it, right? And that's not good. So this is kind of like a cheaty way to do this. I'm gonna create another block, okay? Go to my blocks, create a block, call it change x by and dx. Okay, change x by dx. Run without screen refresh. Click OK. Okay, so this is kind of cheating. All we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate our y scripts. We're gonna duplicate them, and we're just gonna stick them underneath the change x. Yes, this is definitely cheating. Okay, so change x by dx. And so everywhere we see a y, we're going to replace it with an x. Everywhere we see a dy, we're going to replace it with a dx. So basically just swapping. And first of all, we don't need these floating variables. These floating variables are only for y, so we can get rid of those. Okay, change x by, get rid of dy, dx, position, repeat also not touching level. If dx is greater than 0, change x by -1, else change x by 1, set dx to, we don't have a dx, do we? Yes, okay, so, yes, get rid of the change dy to 0. Okay, so, that's great. So, will this work? Well, we have to replace all the calls to change x by with this new change x by dx. So unfortunately, our clever trick of doing this change x by key right arrow press minus key left arrow press times 8 has to go. Unfortunately, we have to use ifs now. So we're gonna create an if key right arrow pressed, and we can duplicate that if key left arrow pressed, right? All we're gonna do is let's stick that underneath the tick, right? Like this, where they came from. If key right arrow pressed, all we're gonna do is change x by 8, and again, in key left arrow press, change x by -8. Okay, does that work? Well, only one way to find out. Yes, that does work. Okay, that was much easier than you might have thought, huh? Yes, that seems like it's working properly. So now we cannot go through walls. But one problem, and I know this is coming, you can't go up slopes anymore. You have to jump up slopes, which is kind of annoying. So we have to fix that, of course, because slopes, you have to be able to go up them. Well, you don't have to if you don't add slopes to your game, but I'm going to add slopes to my game. So let's add slope detection. Okay, so first of all, inside our change player x by dx, first we're going to check if we're actually touching the level. So that's actually, we should have done that from the beginning. So if we are touching the platform, right, we're going to go ahead and go to control. If touching level, repeat until not touching level. Now that will do the exact same thing because we're already checking for that. So why did we have to do that? Well, now we can add an extra condition before this repeat until to check if we're in a slope. Okay, so we're going to need to repeat, let's say, so we're going to move left and up. We're going to move up. We're going to change x by sx, or we're going to change x because speed x. We're going to change x by dx, right? We're going to change x by dx, and then we're going to position it. And if we're actually touching the level, first I want to check if this is a slope. So I'm going to repeat 8, or repeat 10, or whatever. I'm going to repeat 8 by going up until I either get out of the slope, or I'm not in a slope, right? Or I'm in a wall. So then I can do this other thing. So I'm going to repeat until, repeat 8, right? We're going to change y by 1. So change y by, change y by 1. So meaning we're going to go up. So stick this above the repeat until, like this. We're going to change y by 1. Let's stop the project. Position, change y by 1, position, and then if we're not touching the level anymore, if we are not touching the level anymore, then we are out of the platform. So that's great. So now we can just stop, not all, that'll stop the whole project. Stop this script. So that'll just stop this change x by dx script. Okay, so did that work? Did it not? Well, first of all, change y by 1. We should, if we didn't get out of a collision by 8 steps by changing y by 1, we should probably reset the y. So we're just going to change y by -8 because we repeated 8, change y by 1, so 8 times 1 is 8, so we're going to repeat, and we're going to change y by -8. So back, all the way back down. Okay, so let's try it out. And let's see, head collision still work, wall collision still work, great. Do slopes work? Yes, okay, so slopes work, but I'm assuming only to a certain point. So let's go ahead and test this out. So let's create a steeper slope. And yes, so I cannot go up the steep slope, but I can go up these thinner slopes. So I'm assuming that the limit is about 45 degrees. So because since we were repeating 8, so we're gonna make a 45-degree angle right here. Let's see. That's 45 degrees. Yes, so 45 degrees I can go up. Can I go up any more than that? I don't know, I'm just testing. Yes, so 45 degrees is the maximum. So so don't make any slopes bigger than 45 degrees that you want your player to go up. Of course, you could be more biased by changing the repeat number to a bit higher number. That will allow for steeper slopes. Okay, so that is platform detection, or ceiling detection, or wall detection. So now, feel free to make your levels as complex as you want, okay? The world is yours. Well, this world is. Yes, so make sure that you have a working level. But that is pretty much it for now. So let's go ahead and let's make this level a bit smaller so we can add more stuff onto this. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and rename this to level, right? And we're going to create a new costume, and we're going to call it dot. I can't spell today. Okay, and we're just going to zoom all the way in, and we're going to create a dot. Okay? And I'll show you what this is important for later. Switch back to the level costume, and click into code. Okay, so inside the start project, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set size to maybe like 800, so we have much space to work on our projects. Let's see what that looks like. That does not look like 100%. That does not look like 800%. And it's not. You can see in the size. As you can see, this is only 116%, which is not what we asked for. So, you might have noticed this before. Unfortunately, Scratch has a limit on how big their sprites can get, so you don't have, like, massive sprites cluttering up your screen. Because that would be bad. We don't want that. Okay, so how do we get around this? Well, since this dot costume can be sized up to as big as we want, right? This dot is very small. We can size this up to a massive size before Scratch says no, right? So what we can do is actually go ahead and switch costume to dot before we set size to 800, and then we set size to 800, right? So this will set the dot size to 800, right? That's actually pretty small still. That's bigger than a player, but still pretty small. So now what we're going to do is switch costume back to the level. Okay. And this... Okay. What if I'm... Oh! We didn't add Y... falling strips yet. Okay, let's fix that right now. Okay, so you know how we added scroll x by x minus scroll x divided by 10? Duplicate that. Change... We're just going to change scroll y by y minus scroll y divided by 10. It's pretty easy. Yes, okay, there we go. Now we can fall onto the bottom platform. Okay, and as you can see, our thing is very big. So if I want to get to the wall here, yes, here we go. Here's the wall. The other side, over here, this should be the slope if we can ever get there. I'm going to hide the floating. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yes, we're on the slope. Yay! Okay, and then we can, for some reason, we can fall off the edge of the world. Okay, we should add death eventually. But for now, that's good enough. Now, I kind of want our player to start in a different spot. So, go ahead, feel free to design your own level. I'm going to quickly design one of mine. I'm going to start in the bottom left-hand corner. Why is that? So that I have more room to work with. So, here's my simple platform. I'm going to add a wall here, so you can't go past that. Okay, so how do you make us start here? Well, it's actually not that bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show our scroll X, scroll Y variables. And inside player, what we're going to do is actually we're going to disable gravity for now. So we can get rid of these scripts here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make scroll Y a slider. And we're going to make it go all the way down. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is, inside level, I'm going to make this wall a bit bigger so I can see where I am. And we're just going to go left until we hit that wall. Let's see. Hang on, 1 second. This should take a bit less than, Sorry, this tutorial is a bit longer than I anticipated. Yes, so, okay, here we go. So our scroll X and scroll Y is about, 1856. So, how about we move this scroll Y down? Let's enable gravity again. So, put these scripts in here. There we go. So now we're falling. Yes, okay, there we go. So I want my player to spawn right around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to player inside the start game. I'm going to set scroll X to negative 1801. And I'm going to set scroll Y to negative 1 to 100. Okay, let's see what happens. I feel like I've missed the platform, maybe, yeah, let's see, oh, no, instead of setting scroll X, sorry, we're gonna have to set X to 1801, and scroll Y to 1200, like this, and then we start here. Okay, there we go, great. So, now we have a spawn point, that's great. I'm gonna remove this giant wall, so that we don't have to see this. Okay. There we go. Great. We've accomplished our goal of a scrolling platformer. Feel free to make your own level. I will add a next level scheme, next level, way to go to the next level. I don't know. I will see what happens next. Yes. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, like, and share this channel with others. If you didn't like it, do whatever you want. See you at howtodostufwithethan.com, and see you next time. Bye.